Right, what is good everybody? I hope you're all doing okay today. Welcome to the second installment of our WoW Classic Outdoor Gold Farming series. If you've not seen the first video in the series where we went down to Ungoro, then you can find that in a card in the upper right hand portion of the screen right now. Alternatively, you can find the link to that in the description below to this video. So anyways, as you can see, I'm leveling up my cooking skill here. Now, why would I be showing you this, I wonder? Well, this brings us to the subject of the video, of course. But before we go into that, I highly recommend that you level up your cooking skill. So to level up your cooking, it's pretty cheap and it's really quick to do. I spent around 20 gold in total doing this, and it only took me an hour or so to do, which included a bit of travel time as well. So I simply learnt the basic recipes to begin with and bought all of the materials on the auction house. Thankfully, all of the mats in bulk are super cheap to buy, so cheap in fact that they're usually all under a gold per stack, sometimes being under 50 silver to get the next recipe. So after buying a load of cooking ingredients and going AFK whilst my character made them all, I eventually leveled up to 150, which is where we will then need to travel to Ashen Vale to this location right here. There you'll find a vendor who sells the expert cookbook to go from 150 to 225, which only costs 80 silver. Although take note, it can be traded, so it might be worth taking an extra one to try and sell it on the auction house. Remember, people can be lazy and this book is only found here, so it's quite a trek to go to. And then it's back to the major cities to continue to scale up. And thankfully at this point, we're nearly done. Not too difficult, was it? So at this point, you'll only need to level up about 50 more skill points. As long as you stick to the orange or yellow recipes, you'll have this done in no time. Once you've gotten to 200, then you're done. Of course, if you want to level up to 225 and then progress on to 300, then you can go and speak to your cooking trainer for a quest that takes you to Tanaris to get it from 225 to 300. But we're not going that far today, as we only need 200 to make the item from this video. Once you're at 200, you can simply buy the recipe from the auction house if it is on there, which, as you can see on my server, it's fairly cheap at only around 2 gold or so. Perfect. So why do we need this item then? Why couldn't we have just gotten right into the video? Well, as you'll soon see, we're farming the small flame sacks, which are pretty decent to sell by themselves. But as you can see, taking things further, you can easily come close to doubling the price just from being able to make this item instead. Which brings us to the main part of the video. Specifically, this spot right here. To make the most gold from this, it's recommended that you have mining as well as skinning, as the mobs we are farming here are skinnable, so the extra gold from that won't hurt. Also mining, as when you're casually going back and forth across this area, you'll come across plenty of mithril nodes which contain the solid stones, which do go for a decent price themselves. So as mentioned, it's the small flame sacks that we're after from these dragons. There's one downside to this though. The small whelps do tend to cast spells rather than melee attacks, so you'll find yourself fighting them only one at a time. Whereas these big elite drakes, they can be kited and you can easily round up half of the drakes at one given time. So what I like to do is I start either side by killing the whelps one by one until I've made my way to the centre area with the elites. I'll then round up the drakes and AoE them down. If you're lower geared than me, I recommend putting less. Once you've killed them, be sure to use skinning to skin the mobs for the leathers or the hides that they do drop, as it all adds up. Over time, as you go back and forth, you'll also come across a lot of mining nodes, so make sure that you get them as well. Unfortunately, I don't have skinning, so I've missed the ball on that one, but I do have mining, so I was able to gather the mithril, and since I'm an enchanter, I was able to disenchant some of the greens that drop here too, which is a positive. The drakes also drop silver as well as some grey trash items, which is great because again, over time this will really begin to add up, on top of the decent price from the sacks or the chillers, whichever one you're going to go for. So also, as a side note here guys, I realised that these mobs aren't the only ones that drop the small flame sacks. Actually, a number of dragons across the world do drop them, but according to Wowhead, there's actually a potential better location to farm these. It's potentially better for 3 simple reasons. Number 1 is the fact that the mobs are about 10 levels lower than the ones in the Badlands. Number 2 is that they're all non-elites, which means that you can easily farm these if you're a lower level and I say trying to get some gold for your first mount. And number 3 is the fact that they're all in a small area that's fairly condensed. Unfortunately though, I've not been able to test this location out yet, so I can't say for certain if it is actually better or not. But on paper, with the above 3 points mentioned a second ago, along with the higher drop chance, it does seem highly viable, because according to Wowhead, the drop chance for the small flame sacks on these is around 25% or so. So where is this place then? Well, it's actually in the Swamp of Sorrows. Specifically, it's right here. As you can see, I'm easily burning through these ones, basically ending them in a split second, so they're very easy to kill and quick to do if you are a higher level. Do take note though that in the short amount of time that I was here, they did seem to respawn slower than the rate at which I was able to kill them. Also note that they're similar to the non-elite ones in the Badlands in the fact that they cast spells and won't chase you like a melee mob, so you're unfortunately stuck killing them one by one again. Also realise that either I was super unlucky or the drop rate is not actually accurate, but I was here for a solid 15 minutes and I didn't see a single drop, which makes me wonder. But despite all of that, I feel that it is worth adding into the videos. Like I say, on paper it seems to be better, but also if you do get competition, you can easily use this as another alternative. So let's take a look at what you can expect from here. As you can see, this is the loot that I was able to get after about an hour or so of farming here with some slight competition, which is about 40 gold in total without making the chili. And here is another half an hour I was able to farm here, which is another 25 gold give or take without making the chili. And keep in mind, as I've been saying, skinning can help to increase this as well. Also, as well as cooking, if you did follow the first part of the video, can help to almost double the income from the sacks alone. Which means at best, this gold farm is anywhere between 40 and 70 gold per hour, and at worst, you're looking at around 25 to 40 gold per hour. So is it viable? Yeah, it is. Obviously keep in mind that the auction house prices as well as competition, your luck and if you have the correct professions will all play a factor into your gold per hour from this place. But if you check most of the boxes here, it's a pretty decent gold farm. So that's the end of the video today guys. If you've enjoyed today's video and are looking forward to the next one, then be sure to subscribe and press that bell icon to be notified when I release a new video, which is typically every 3 days. Also, if you think this is a really good gold farm, then be sure to press that like button and to share it with your friends. I'm sure that they could benefit from this too. Oh, you're still here then? That's good, because I've got a quick channel update to share with you. So, as you're probably well aware by now, we finally reached 1,000 subscribers, which, by the way, if you have subscribed, then thank you so much. Your support goes a long way. Anyways, I just wanted to say that now that we're finally here, it's time to update you all on the channel goals as well as some news. So firstly, since we have smashed that 1k sub threshold, it's now time to officially state that the new goal for the channel is to smash the 2k mark. So here's a toast to reaching that. Cheers. Not only that, but also, as I mentioned before, I would be doing live streams here on YouTube once I did reach the 1,000 subscriber threshold. Now this video has been recorded ahead of time, so most likely I would have already done my first ever live stream. But just to let you know that, as of this exact moment in time, as I'm writing and recording this, I haven't managed to get around to setting up a solid schedule just yet, or whether it will be a weekly or a monthly thing, let alone which day or time it will be on. Whether it is weekly or monthly, it will be on the same day and the same time, so it will be easy for people to remember. And if you are interested in learning more, then be sure that you do check out my other videos and you do subscribe, as I do release new videos every 3 days and sometimes even more frequently if I have enough time or videos backed up. So if you've already seen and watched that first live stream, then thanks again and I hope that you enjoyed it. It's only going to get better and better each time as I slowly begin to perfect my craft and hone in on my skills as a content creator here on YouTube. So until the next one, see ya.